Hello everyone, back again with movie and tune recap. Today, I'm going to explain an American found footage supernatural horror film from 2015, titled Hell House. Spoilers ahead, so watch out and take care. The film is presented as a documentary investigating a mysterious accident at an abandoned hotel in the town of Abaddon, Rockland County, New York. This hotel was turned into a haunted house attraction, and on its opening night, an unexplained malfunction led to the deaths of 15 people, including the first visitors and the members of the Hell House team who set it up. Authorities have labeled the cause of these deaths as unknown. A documentarian named Diana Graves interviews several people connected to the incident, including journalist Martin Cliver, witness Miranda Kelly, and author Robert Lyons. They discuss Hell House, a Halloween attraction whose opening night on October 8, 2009, ended in tragedy. With the authorities keeping details of the deaths secret, Diana gets a breakthrough when Sarah Hovel, the only survivor from the Hell House crew, contacts her. Sarah provides Diana with personal tapes recorded by the group that show what really happened. These tapes, starting on the August 23, 2009, follow Sarah and her team, Paul O'Keefe, Andrew McNamara, Alex Taylor, and Tony Prescott, arriving at the abandoned Abaddon Hotel to start setting up their haunted house for Halloween. Some of the crew members aren't comfortable with the hotel, finding it creepy, but Alex, the CEO of the company, is determined to open the haunted house. As the team heads to the basement, they fail to notice a dark figure standing in the corner. Inside the basement, they find an old Bible on the floor and satanic symbols on the wall, which freaks Sarah out. However, Alex is focused on getting the attraction ready and dismiss her concerns. As the setup continues, the team moves into the hotel full-time. One night, while Paul is recording himself, he spots a dark figure standing at his front door, silently staring before walking away. Local actors Joey Scheffler and Melissa are hired to perform a scene where a creepy clown torments a woman in chains. Melissa mentions that the hotel's former owner, Tully, hanged himself in the dining room in 1989. According to legend, Tully built the hotel because the town of Abaddon was named after a demon believed to guard the gateway to hell. Tully, rumored to be a cult leader, took his own life after suspicions arose about guests who mysteriously disappeared. In the basement, the crew comes across 3 life-sized clown figures, and Alex discuss where the local actors will be placed during the attraction. Later that night, the group is woken up by strange noises, but when they investigate, they find nothing. The next morning, Paul is walking around the hotel with his camera when he spots several mannequins and one of the clowns facing the basement.
Oh shit, dude. Holy.
Thinking it's Tony in the clown costume, Paul is shocked to find Tony sitting in the living room, and when Paul goes back to where he saw the clown, it's gone. In the basement, he sees the clown sitting again, and believing Tony is messing with him, Paul confronts him about it. Paul later shows the crew the video of the clowns, but they don't take it seriously. Later, Paul and Tony decide to film a walkthrough to show off their decorations, starting with the storeroom. Tony heads to the control room to turn on the lights, and while Paul flashes his camera around the room, he notices several creepy figures staring at him, and terrified, he runs out of the storeroom. Despite Paul's concerns about the strange encounters, Alex remains focused on opening the attraction, driven by the potential for making money. On September 21st, the crew is once again woken up by strange noises. This time, they find one of the clowns standing on the staircase, and mannequins appear to be moving by themselves, continuing to frighten the team. Paranormal activity starts escalating, and at one point, they find Sarah sleepwalking and talking to a wall, completely in a trance. After calming down the frightened Sarah, the crew heads upstairs only to realize that the clown standing on the staircase has disappeared. Suddenly, they hear piano music, and as they look around, the clown reappears in front of them, causing them to hurry back upstairs in a panic. With only 3 days left until opening night, Paul is recording himself again when a possessed woman appears in his bedroom. Terrified, Paul hides under his bedsheet, but the woman attacks him, and he disappears shortly afterward. Strange occurrences continue to escalate, culminating with Paul reappearing in the basement in a catatonic state. Tony, fed up with the paranormal activity and the unsettling movement of the clowns, decides he had enough and insists on quitting the project. This leads to a heated argument among the crew, and Tony storms out of the house. However, Andrew follows him and confesses something in private that convinces Tony that they all need to stay and see the project through. On October 8, 2009, the day of the grand opening, the crew sets up cameras around the haunted house to monitor the activity. Melissa, one of the local scare actors hired for a basement scene, is placed with the clowns as guests begin entering the attraction. However, chaos erupts when demonic cultists appear throughout the house, sparking mass panic. Joey, one of the actors, flees in terror, and 9 days later, he hangs himself. During the opening night, a skull-faced cultist in a robe gruesomely cuts into Melissa's flesh as horrified patrons look on, and while many guests manage to escape the house in terror. In search of another way out, Andrew and Sarah head up to the attic, only to find Alex hanging from a noose. As they try to untie Alex, cultists attack Andrew, causing his camera to fall, leaving Sarah as the only survivor. In the present, Sarah, during her interview with the documentary crew, claims that authorities eventually entered the house and safely escorted her outside. She tells Diane that she will be in her hotel room, room 2C, if the team has any further questions. She also hints that the documentary team should break into the Abaddon hotel themselves to discover what truly happened. However, when Diane tries to leave a message for Sarah at the hotel reception, she is informed that no one named Sarah is registered as a guest, and even stranger, there is no room 2C at that hotel. Diane and her cameraman decide to investigate the Abaddon hotel themselves, while Mitchell, another member of the documentary crew, stays behind to review Sarah's footage. As he examines the tapes, Mitchell uncovers a chilling scene. Paul, appearing possessed, kills Sarah with a camera. Afterward, an unseen figure drags Sarah's body away, and Paul then takes a piece of glass and slits his own throat. Meanwhile, Diane and her cameraman arrive at the hotel to explore what remains of the horrific events from that fateful night. As they make their way to the second floor, they come across a room, marked 2C, the same room Sarah had claimed to be staying in. When they enter, they find Sarah sitting with her back to them, and suddenly, the door slams shut, locking them inside. Before they can react, a ghoulish version of Sarah, along with other ghostly figures, attacks them. It's revealed that the real Sarah was killed by a possessed member of Hell House, and she had been dead the entire time Diane and her crew were interviewing her. In truth, there were no survivors from the Hell House tragedy. The documentary team had been speaking to a ghost all along, walking into the very same deadly trap that claimed the lives of so many before them. Okay guys, that's all the recap about Hell House from 2015. Thanks for watching, see you again in the next video.